Known by his alias, Tony Pro, Anthony Provenzano was a captain in the Genovese criminal family of the American mafia. Several of his criminally achieved maneuvers were so brilliant that all 5 families held him high in regard. 3 of these strategies are going to be covered in this video. 1937 Peace Treaty. A peace deal was brokered by Anthony Provenzano in 1973 between the 5 most powerful organized crime families in New York City. These families comprised the Genovese, Gambino, Lucchese, and Colombo families, as well as the Bonanno family. The pact was an attempt to put an end to the feuds that had been going on between the families for some time, and to establish greater stability within the criminal society. It featured an agreement that none of the families would interfere with the business of any of the other families, and it also established a procedure for settling disagreements without resorting to violence. The organized crime world saw the accord as a watershed moment because it was effective in putting a stop to the continuous hostilities, and because it was considered as a milestone. If you keep watching this video, you'll learn more about how Anthony Provenzano and the work he did to stop the mob wars between the crime families.
Over the other crime families.
You'll also hear how Anthony brought the families together and established a truce that would last for decades. So keep watching and you'll find out how one man changed the landscape of organized crime in America. Expanding the Genovese family. Anthony Provenzano was a significant person in the Genovese criminal family and was a member of the mafia. He is famous for increasing the family's power and influence in New Jersey and New York City. The other 4 mafia families revered and dreaded Provenzano as one of their own, and with good reason. It was said that he had a significant part in the peace accord that was negotiated between the 5 families of organized crime. It was well recognized that Provenzano was a strong negotiator and that he was an excellent leader. It was well known that he was a generous guy who would often look over the welfare of his family and friends. Because of his influence and strength, the 5 families respected Provenzano even more, which was a significant contributor to the peace that existed between the families.
Peace! Peace!
Quenching mob war. Anthony Provenzano was a significant player in the New Jersey Mafia in 1983. He was successful in putting an end to a mob war that had been going on in the state for some time. Provenzano was known for being a harsh negotiator, and he was successful in bringing the warring groups together to work out a ceasefire via their collaboration. This was not a simple undertaking since there were significant differences between the 2 camps, and it required a high level of tact and negotiation in order to bring them together. The efforts of Provenzano were so effective that the mob war was put to an end without any additional violence, which was a significant accomplishment considering the historical period. As a result of his efforts to bring an end to the dispute and solidify his position in mafia history, Provenzano received widespread accolades. Continue watching this video if you're curious about the origins of the Teamsters Union. At a later time, I'll go through Anthony Provenzano's role in establishing and molding the Teamsters Union. Provenzano's narrative is an uplifting one because of his collaboration with union leaders and his struggle for workers' rights.
They have rights.
Don't stop watching now to find out more about this groundbreaking individual in the history of labor. His passing. The unexpected demise of Anthony Provenzano has come as a shock to many who were close to him, including his family and friends. Anthony Provenzano was a significant person in the New York Mafia and was connected to the Gambino criminal family. Provenzano was a member of the Gambino family. It was common knowledge that he was one of the most powerful and influential crime bosses in the history of the United States. He had a hand in a number of high-profile killings and was involved in a wide range of illegal enterprises. In the late 1980s, he was finally apprehended, tried, and convicted of his crimes, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
A life in prison.
Many people are saddened by his demise, and the criminal underground will continue to carry on his legacy long after he is gone. If you're interested in New York's criminal underground and want to learn more, look no further than the Secret Buzzer channel. We have engaging and educational videos that provide an in-depth look into the most notorious crime families in New York. From the rise and fall of the mob to the gritty reality of organized crime, our videos are sure to keep you coming back for more. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to our channel and get ready to dig deep into the world of New York's crime families. Creating Teamsters Unions. Anthony Provenzano was an important person in the history of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, IBT. Provenzano was a pivotal participant in the union's formation, and he was selected as the organization's first president in the year 1903. He was a staunch supporter of workers' rights and played a pivotal role in the process of negotiating improved salaries and working conditions for Teamsters throughout the United States. In addition to this, Provenzano exerted a lot of effort to construct a more robust infrastructure for the Union. He did this by creating a national pension fund, health insurance, and other benefits, as well as expanding membership in regional organizations. During his tenure, he was also an essential figure in the negotiation of a number of significant labor contracts. Provenzano was a leader for the Union who had a lot of foresight, and many people give him credit for helping to establish the Union as a strong and prominent organization. Anthony Provenzano. Anthony Provenzano was a gangster and Union official who was of Italian and American descent. In addition to being a member of the Genovese criminal family, he was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 560 in Union City, New Jersey. Provenzano had a reputation for having a violent temper and was engaged in a variety of criminal enterprises, including murder, extortion, labor racketeering, drug trafficking, and loan sharking. He was also renowned for his violent temper. In 1983, a court found Provenzano guilty of murder as well as racketeering and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of release.
Sentenced to imprisonment for life.
In 1988, he passed away while he was still serving his sentence. In the New York metropolitan area, Provenzano was known as one of the most infamous gangsters, and the crimes he was involved in were a significant contributor to the demise of the Teamsters Union. Do you want to know more about how influential Anthony Provenzano was in the crime families? If so, I highly recommend our video that delves further into the several significant roles he played in the family's affairs and gives a broad picture of how his participation made him highly influential in the affairs of the family. If you're interested in finding out more about Anthony Provenzano's influence in the criminal underground, then you should definitely watch this video right now.